mesmerizing, ancient temple architecture around the world. The ancient temples are the most spectacular of the buildings that remain today from the early years of civilization. It's not surprising that these spiritual sites were built using the latest architectural innovations and are imposing in scale, given the importance of religion in ancient civilizations. Many of the sites are shrouded in mystery about their past uses and creators, while others are well documented and have been studied for more than a century. Some of the oldest temples around the globe can be toured by visitors today. So here's the list of 6 most amazing ancient temple architecture around the world worth visiting. But before we move forward, if you are watching this channel for the first time, then subscribe to the channel for more such factual videos. Also, hit the bell icon so that you get a notification whenever we upload a new video. 1. The Meenakshi Temple Complex, Madurai, India. One of the oldest and most important temples in India is the Meenakshi Amman Temple. Located in the city of Madurai, the temple has a lot of historical and mythological significance. The temple is spread out over 14 acres and is located in the center of Madurai. The temple was built in response to invasions and has huge walls. When viewed from above, the whole structure is a mandala. A structure that is built according to the laws of symmetry is a mandala. There are different shrines within the temple complex. There are 2 main shrines, which are dedicated to Sundareswarar and Meenakshi, but the temple also has other shrines dedicated to other deities. The goddess Rukmini is one of the deities housed in the temple. There is a pond named Porthamurai Kolam in the temple. A pond with a golden lotus is the translation of the term Potramrai Kolam. There is a golden lotus at the center of the pond. According to legend, Lord Shiva blessed this pond and declared that there would be no marine life there. According to Tamil folklore, the pond is an evaluator for reviewing the worth of new literature. 2. Luxor Temple, Egypt. Luxor is a town of about 60,000 people, and it is located on the right bank of the Nile, on the site of ancient. The name of Luxor comes from the Arabic word el-Yuksor, plural of el-Khazar, which means camp or fortification, referring to 2 military camps that were set up here during Roman times. The constructions that the Egyptians built for their gods gave us an idea of their importance. The Temple of Luxor has been occupied by many pharaohs. A monument that reflects the worship of the Egyptians for their divinities, but also the power and magnificence of the ancient empire, was the result. You can see the pharaoh with different deities in the courtyard, which is made up of 74 columns. There are 3 chapels decorated by Ramses II in the center of the sanctuary. They were used as storage for sacred boats. 2 great builders during the reigns of Amenhotep III and Ramses II were responsible for the construction of the Temple of Amun. During the reign of Amenhotep III, the interior was constructed, and during the reign of Ramses II, the outer wall was built. Though they were not the only ones who left their mark on the great temple of the pharaohs, Tutankhamun and his successor, Horemheb, and even Alexander the Great himself, left their mark as well. The sanctuary of Ka par excellence, the Temple of Luxor, is 260 meters long. It is connected to the Temple of Karnak by a long avenue decorated with sphinxes, once with the head of a ram, replaced by sphinxes with human heads. 3. Stonehenge, UK. One of the most famous Neolithic monuments, Stonehenge, was built on a sacred site on the Salisbury Plain in several phases. Stonehenge is a series of concentric rings of standing stones around an altar stone at the center. The first ring has a horseshoe plan of 5 trilithons, with 2 upright stones and a single lintel. Beyond these was first a circle of smaller uprights, sacred blue stones, transported from South Wales, and then an outer circle of sandstone monoliths, which supports what was once a continuous lintel. A landscape trench separated the site from the surrounding land, as well as a circle of small, movable marker stones that were set in pits. The axis is identified by the heel stone, a large stone with a pointed top, because of a long avenue marked by uprights. The construction for the period was very accurate. Stonehenge is one of the most impressive works of an ancient civilization. The engineering required to transport, shape, raise, and connect the stones, and the accuracy of their positioning, according to astronomical phenomena, is amazing evidence of the skills and knowledge of its builders. Stonehenge's plan is centralized around a vertical axis and longitudinal, with a horizontal axis set into the central plan. The structure was part of the landscape and set off. It was an enclosure that was isolated from the world but open to it through the stone screens. Indeed, the center of the circle in Stonehenge was connected with a powerful cult of sun worship, for there is evidence that the monument was dominated by a powerful cult of sun worship. One could observe the rising sun on the fourth side of the heel stone at the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, because of the awesome trilithons on the three sides. Now that you have come halfway to this video, hit the like button if you have liked it so far, also subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon, so you don't miss out on any videos. 4. Temple of Hera, Greece. Both Zeus and Hera were worshipped at the Temple of Hera in ancient Olympia. The temple was built of wood in the 7th century, but then it was replaced by stone. The Temple of Hera is one of the oldest monuments in Greece and was dedicated to the goddess when the Temple of Zeus was built next to it. The altar of this temple is where the Olympic flame is lit and carried to all parts of the world where the Olympic Games are being held. At the end of the 6th century BC, the temple complex at the Sanctuary of Hera was founded on the site of an old religious center of Greek mythology known as Heraion. The Temple of Hera was protected from the elements by a terrace wall. Historians believe that the original temple only had a room and a corridor when it was first built in 650 BC. During the Roman reign, the temple was converted into a sort of museum, with valuable treasures being kept inside. According to the Doric architecture, the Temple of Hera was constructed with 16 columns. The lower part was made of limestone, while the upper part was made of brick. There are also terracotta tiles. 3 rooms were included in the entire structure. There is a chance that the statues of Zeus and Hera were placed there, as well as the disc of Aphitos, which marked the beginning of the first Olympic Games. 5. Lepakshi Temple, Andhra Pradesh, India. The Virbhadra Temple is located in the Anantapur district of the country of India. The temple was built in the 16th century and has an abundance of sculptures and paintings on nearly every exposed temple surface. It is one of the centrally protected monuments. The fresco paintings are well preserved and detail the epic stories of the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas in bright dresses and colors with scenes of Krishna and Ram. There is a very big Nandi, bull, the mount of Shiva, about 200 meters away from the temple, carved from a single block of stone said to be one of the biggest of its kind in the world. The temple is of the architectural style of Vijayanagara. The primary temple consists of 3 components: the assembly hall known as the Mukha Mantapa or Natya Mantapa or Ranga Mantapa, the Arta Mandapa or Antarala, antechamber, and the Garbhagriha or Sanctum Sanctorum. The temple is an edifice with 2 enclosures around it. The northern door is frequently used, and there are 3 gates in the outer wall. The main portion of the assembly hall is an open hall with a big room, which can be accessed through the internal east gate. The Swami Temple of Virbhadra is calm, serene, and holy. The building has a huge dance hall that supports the roof with countless pillars. One corner pillar is the famous Virbhadra Temple Lepakshi hanging pillar that doesn't touch the temple ground at all. 6. Belur Temple, Karnataka, India. The world-famous tourist destination of Belur is situated on the banks of the river Yagachi. Belur was the former capital of the Hoslas, and it was referred to as Velapur, Velur, and Belur at different times in history. One of the finest examples of Hoslas workmanship can be found in the town's Chanakshava temple. This was one of the first temples consecrated by the Hosla king Vishnuvratna in 1116 AD. It was called the Vijayanarayana temple. The Hoslas used soft soapstone for their structures because it was suitable for intricate carvings. The temple stands on a platform and looks like a huge casket. It is enclosed by a prakara and built in the Vijayanagar style. This masterpiece of fine art is truly breathtaking. The fine workmanship and skill are both astonishing and worthy. The Chanakesava Temple is one of the best examples of fine art in stone. There are sculptures in the temple that include dancing, hunting, standing under canopies of trees, and so on. Hosla's workmanship created the 4 Mudnika figures, which are elegant dancing poses, on the wonderfully engraved columns of Navarenga. The Garbhagriha is amazing in design and has amazing zigzag walls that make the images of 24 different forms of Vishnu look different at different times of the day due to. The temple was built by master craftsmen Dasoja and Chavana, a father and son duo hailing from Balagan, a center of Kalyana Chalukya's art. It is said that Shantala Devi, the accomplished queen of King Vishnubratna, is the model for one of the sculptures in the Vavaranga Darpana Sundari. The work of art speaks of the beauty of the temple. The main temple is surrounded by temples of Cape Chanagaraya, Suminayaki, Undul, and other Vanavesh manifestations. Raghavanka, the celebrated Kannada poet of the 13th century, is believed to be the creator of Belur Samadhi. And that's it for the day. But we'll definitely have part 2 of the amazing ancient temple architecture around the world. Which one of these amazed you the most? Tell us in the comments. Stay tuned with facts, folks, and fun for more such content. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any videos.